Well, welcome to the weekly Creator Hangout. If you're new here, my name is Anthony Locke. I am the owner of this channel. I love doing these Creator Hangouts. This is something that gives me a chance to help new and aspiring creators and those who are wanting to get on different platforms, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. There's so many different outlets for being a content creator. And I love just being able to give some feedback to people and being able to help people become better content creators, because these are things I wish I would have known when I first started in the content creation space. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But a little bit about myself is I've been on YouTube for over a year now. I have made quite a few acquaintances, and my niche is in the photography, videography, and tech niche. I love being able to do that. But every week on Sundays, I designate this to helping new and aspiring creators to become better content creators. And so therefore, that's what this whole Creator Hangout is all about. We're going to be having some other content creators join us here in the next little while. But really, I love being able to do this every week. Not only just because it helps out me and my channel, but really just because I want to give back to people. I want people to know that they are valued and that I believe that they are more than just a number. And so if you are watching this, make sure you comment and let us know where you're watching from, because honestly, I would like to know. I'd love to know like where you're watching from, whether it be on the replay or if you're watching here live. But yeah, a little bit more about myself is I live in Utah. I have been a photographer for over 5 or 6 years now, and I have developed quite an understanding of the whole creation behind photography, videography, and just content creation. I have studied a lot about it. I've watched tutorials, I've watched so much, and I've just kind of watched, and I've also, like you, who is watching this either on live or on the replay, I've watched other creators and how they create their videos. And I've taken some of their stuff and put my own twist on it, because as a content creator, you don't want to be mimicking someone's work, word for word, line for line, everything. You don't want to do that, because if they wanted to find that person's like, I'll use a great example. Peter McKinnon, he's in my niche. If I was to mimic all my stuff like Peter McKinnon, well, that's great and all, but as one of my friends pointed out, if people are looking for Peter McKinnon, they just go search for his stuff. But what brought them to your channel? So that's really been my goal with this, is really just taking the knowledge I have and also understanding and knowing what knowledge that I've learned through watching other creators and putting my own twist on it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I love doing this weekly hangout. I love being able to answer questions, whether it be tech questions or you just have questions about YouTube in general. Like I love being able to talk about YouTube. This is something that I plan on doing for the long haul. I have, like I said, made a ton of other content creator friends through Clubhouse and through Twitter and through so many other avenues. It's unreal. Like I love how cool YouTube is and how it can connect so many people. But if you're just joining, my name is Anthony Locke. I am the owner of this channel. My channel is all about photography, videography, and tech. I am also the owner of Anthony Locke Photography and Media. So my story while we're just getting started is that I was first considering starting a YouTube channel back in 2016, but because I felt like there was so much going on in my life, I didn't really feel like I had the time to do this. And so I postponed it for 4 years, but then 4 years later, COVID hit. And being a photographer, like everyone else, I had to socially distance. I had to put everything on pause. Like with my photography business, I had to do everything, like what was best for not just my health, but for my families, my friends, and for all those who I would normally come in contact with. And I felt like during that time, my skills and my knowledge was going to waste. I felt like, I wished that there was a better avenue for someone to be able to utilize my knowledge and help them to inspire, will help to inspire them and to help encourage them. And so I jumped on the YouTube platform. But that's just a little bit about my journey. But without further ado, we have a guest backstage. His name is Bobby Perry. I've known this guy. I've met him through Clubhouse. He is quite the creator. He is back east, I believe. He's a really good guy. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good. How are you? I just asked that question. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. How's everything going?
It's good. Life is good. I finished my finals, and honestly, it was quite the stress relief because I was typing quite a bit last week with finals. I was kind of felt like my brain was fried. So
I feel you, because when I was in college, I got my master's. I was a part of 4 clubs and organization. I was traveling with dance, and now I got the film thing going. I just had a webinar on Black men in business and their perspectives on things, and it went well. The webinar was probably about 2.5 hours long. A lot of content.
yeah, it's life is kind of interesting. It's funny how when we're kids, we wish that we were an adult, and then when we become adults, we're just like, why in the heck did I wish this? Like,
A lot more responsibility, I'll just say that.
oh, definitely a lot more responsibility. I remember as a kid saying like, I'm gonna have so much freedom as an adult. I'm gonna be able to do this, this, and this. No, and so now when I hear kids saying like, "Oh, I can't wait to be an adult," I'm just like, "Kid, don't say that. Like, enjoy being a kid while you can, because all you have to worry about is homework, getting good grades and doing your chores and everything, and then just being in by curfew, and that's really just all you have to worry about."
Yeah.
So, Bobby, tell us a little bit about for those watching, tell us a little bit about your channel and like what you do for your niche.
Okay, so B Perry Films is my YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I call it B Perry Films Podcast, so people don't get confused with the name. I originally started actually a couple years ago. I was documenting my grandmother's journey through life for 3 years, and I just eventually asked her, "Do you mind if I interview you with a camera?" And she said, "Okay, sure." I learned a little bit about the family history and her perspective on things. I got to learn a little bit about my grandfather, who passed away before I was born. Her journey raising 5 generations, moving from South Carolina up to Massachusetts. She passed away last year, April 30th, 2021, a few months before my business started. And through her journey in life and pushing me to pursue my dreams, I dedicated my business in homage of her name. And a little bit about my podcast is that it's more on interviewing small businesses, content creators, performing artists, helping them get exposure through film. And it's also an educational channel where we teach people how to implement different skills, chase after opportunities, get out of imposter syndrome if that's a thing, and manifesting your dream to be whatever you want to be. No limits.
Sounds like you got a lot on your plate. Sounds like it's
Yeah,
an intense gig.
very busy.
So, I mean, sounds a lot more complex and from the reason that I started on YouTube. I first thought about starting a YouTube channel back in 2016, but at the time, like I was busy, and at the time I didn't have confidence in myself. I felt like I didn't have that much of an interest in life. Like I was going to create a vlog channel, and I was talking with a family member about it yesterday, and I was saying I wished I had started on the platform back in 2016 when I first thought about it, because I would have already been so far along in my journey. But and that family member said like you could have made it interesting. I completely agreed, and so really like Bob, you probably don't know my journey with YouTube, do you?
Not all of it. I'm still brand new to everything. This is my first time ever using social media, like the
Oh,
whole Instagram, YouTube, learning Facebook, Clubhouse. It's been a resource. And yeah,
Sounds like you're a greenie. Sounds like you're very green to this kind of stuff. Very
Yeah.
foodie. So my journey, like I said, I first started out thinking I wanted to start a channel back in 2016. I was watching this married couple here in Utah. Their names are Ellie and Jared Meekum, and I just thought, like, that'd be fun to create a YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And so I talked with a friend of mine, and he's like, he's telling me, like, you got to be consistent. And at the time, I just didn't feel like I was committed to that. And also, like I said, I didn't feel like had that very much of an interesting life. All I did was go to work and come home. But I probably could have made that a little bit interesting, because I do have some pretty crazy stories about customers, about experiences I went through.
Mhm.
And so I postponed it for 4 years. And then 4 years later, COVID hit, and I was working at a grocery store, but I had my own side business of photography. And at the time, I was just, really just having fun with photography. But then COVID hit, and like everyone else, I had to socially distance. Everything photography, like with regards to clients, had to be put on hold or pushed aside because I had to socially distance. And so I sat there thinking in my mind, like, I feel like my skills are being wasted. I feel like something, like, I need to utilize these skills in some way, whether it be to benefit myself or to
Mhm.
benefit someone else. And so I decided, after talking with a friend, I decided to jump on YouTube, and I launched my first YouTube video back in September of 2020. And oh man, that video was, like, even to this day, like, I had to watch part of it for an assignment I had to do for a final last week. And oh man, the audio sucked. Everything sucked about it. Like, I was nervous. I was like, and and so that's really my journey. Like, and I've loved being on this journey since then. It's just been so much fun just to be a part of this content creator economy. So
It is great. I would say even with my videos, when I first started, I didn't have the best lighting. I didn't even have a ring light. Everyone's like, you need to get a ring light. Uh, I said a lot. I wasn't sure what to do, but I just knew I had to do an elevator pitch and try to memorize everything. And I'm like, forget trying to memorize it. I'm just going to practice reading this over and over and have it right in front of me.
mhm.
And, you know, just grow each video after video. And everyone's like, how do you stay consistent? And is it hard doing the podcast? And I'm like, yes, every episode is harder because you have to kind of amplify everything, and they expect you to over execute even more. And what's complicated about my niche is that everybody's so different. We can be talking about how to prevent you from getting COVID and diabetes, mental health, um, preparing to do be more accountable with your financing, such as learning how to save, learning how to budget, learning how to invest in things, giving back to the community. And then you have performing artists that are anywhere between a music, dance, theater. So everything is so spread out, and everyone's like, "Who's your target audience?" I'm like, it's pretty much clear on Instagram, because all the people that are adding me are content creators or performers. But how do you translate that to YouTube, where it's so broad and you're competing against people who have millions of subscribers? You know?
Yeah, for sure. It's very. I felt like at first, like, it was going to be a very oversaturated platform to be on. But so I'm a college student, but I also do this kind of like a certification kind of thing, like on YouTube, well, on the YouTube platform. But it's taught through Think Media, and it's called Video Ranking Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they teach you, like, all the tips and tricks of, like, how to succeed on YouTube. And the owner of Think Media, Sean Cannell, he's actually even said that, it's not oversaturated. He said this is the quickest growing business that someone can do online. And it's so true. Like, I've already seen the advantages of it. Like, and I've been on this platform for over a year now. And I mean, granted, I only have like over 100 subscribers right now, but I've learned so much. And I feel like one of the most important things that I learned was to break through the myth of the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, because, like, I eventually want to get married. I want to have a wife and kids. And I felt like And there for the longest time, like I was in that myth where I thought like, well, I need to go to college, I need to do this, I want to do this so I can now work at this career for like the next 40 plus years, and then I'll retire and I'll just have some time on my own, and then that'll be it. But I always felt like there was something more. Like, kind of like you kind of felt like there was always something more. I felt like there was something more. And so that's when I kind of discovered YouTube. And it sounds like your niche is pretty complicated, but it sounds like you get to interview quite a few cool people. Like
Yeah.
that's really impressive.
Yeah. I do have a criteria for people to be featured because I can't help you if you don't already have an audience. So I require that people who have a business be in their industry for at least 6 months, which is pretty big because most podcasts, they require you to have at least a year of experience. So I'm giving people some type of leeway. I audit through everyone's account to make sure that they're legit and are knowledgeable, because even though I'm doing a lot of research myself and then coming up with these topics, if they're not able to respond to certain questions that I may have or interact with the viewers who are watching this through a pre-recorded, then it's just wasting both of our time. Um, for content creators, about a year, and then for performing artists, I require about a decade, if not more, because you have the foundation and you have an extensive resume. Hopefully, you have traveled. It doesn't matter about how many awards, how many concerts or features that you've been on, but the level of growth and the level of vocabulary is going to be different versus if someone just started.
Well, it sounds kind of like it's good that you have that criteria, because you can only help someone if they're willing to help themselves. And that's what I've come to find, especially like even in this YouTube platform. Like, you have a lot of people who they get on the platform and then they decide like, oh, well, like they're like, yeah, I want to be a content creator. Like I want to be a YouTuber. But then after like 3 months, they think, well, that was fun. My channel didn't really take off. But I think in my mind, like, this takes time. Like you got to build the community, you got to build, the rapport and everything. And if you even talk to like other content creators, a great example would be Mr. Beast. He's probably one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. Even if people don't like him, he's one of the biggest YouTubers. His channel didn't even take off for like 7 years. And it's just one of those things where people really they don't give it enough time. And I know that like in my niche, for example, it's all about helping people to become better photographers, videographers, and just understanding tech. And I can give out all the information I can. And then also, but sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a sec. But it really comes down to the person. Like if they're willing to put forth that effort, kind of like your niche, they got to put forth the effort. And it sounds like you have that major criteria, which is important as a content creator and as a business owner. Like you have to have like that criteria that your clients have to meet in order for you to be able to help them.
Yeah. I'm going to turn on the light real quick so you can see me a little bit better.
Oh, you're good. But while you're doing that, I'm going to say hello to Elvira. How's it going? Thanks for coming. We appreciate you. And then we got Lalo. Lalo, I'm expecting you to come up on stage, man. You came up last week. I'm expecting it. You better come up. And then, let's see here. Annette, more than welcome to come up. You guys all have that link in the group conversation. So, and then we got the incredible cast. And again, cast, if you want to come up, you got the link. I'm expecting more people to come up. I'm going to be here for a little while. So we're more than willing to come up. And then you're good, Lalo. He says, I'll try to come up if I can make it home in time. Lalo, I'm sure you'll make it home in time. You're good. And he also said, he's like, also so true of people giving up way too quickly. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to YouTube is that, and I'm sure, Bobby, you can probably agree with this, that people, they start on the platform with good intentions. They're like, yeah, I want to do this. But then after like 3 months, they just think, well, it didn't take off. Like I didn't make any money off of it. All I did was I felt like I wasted my time. And so they give up. They don't feel like they accomplished anything. But at the same time, like I want to say to the people, like, you didn't try hard enough. Like you didn't Like, especially like we'll use just a high schooler, like maybe like a recent high school grad, you know, they're like, yeah, I don't want to go to college. I just want to become a YouTuber. And then they expect their channels to be an overnight sensation, but they're not. Like, you know, there's like a
Mhm.
one in like a millionth chance that your channel is going to be an overnight sensation. And I'm sure you could probably agree with that, right?
Yeah, I talked about that during my webinar that I hosted yesterday. Like I said, I went for 2.5 hours. There was a lot of content. And also on one of my episodes on my podcast, we were talking about the artistry of choreography. And I made it clear in the intro that a lot of people want these titles of being an influencer, entrepreneur, choreographer, public figure, brand ambassador, but not want to put in the work. I'm like, not everyone who starts a business is an entrepreneur. You're just a small business owner. An entrepreneur, even though that YouTube doesn't show you actual legit people actually doing stuff, but you're kind of like me where I'm answering emails early in the morning, 10 o'clock to about 11. I'm going to meetings, interviewing people, doing screenings, sending out templates for the podcast. Like I said, I make the whole outline out and I do the research. So I'm spending probably 3 to 4 days memorizing everything, and I have my little note sheet with bullet points. I don't think you should have everything script, but at least having small notes like quotes, looking up articles. Like I emphasize reading books, not going straight to YouTube for everything because not everyone's a reliable source. So what makes me competitive against the market is that I actually do the research. I use the websites like .org and .edu, and I read books while other people are selling other people's content and just saying the same thing but on their channel.
Yeah. And see that you bring up something I mentioned at the beginning of my live stream that I always like, you know, like everyone else, like I'm subscribed to thousands of other content creators, you know, because I believe in supporting others. But like a lot of them, like when I watch their content, like especially like if it's in my niche, like I like what they say, and I'll take what I learned from them, but I'll put my own twist on it, so it's not like mimicking them like word for word. You know, I think a major platform where people have a tendency to copy each other would be TikTok. You know, there's this guy on TikTok. His TikTok channel is called Creating Wonders. Like he does a lot of like inspirational quotes and
Hmm.
everything. And there for a while, I was seeing this other guy that just kept. He was like copying word for word, copying his movements, his actions, and
Hmm.
people were calling this guy out. And that's why, you know, like even so, a great example. We have Growth Angie in the audience right now, and she's been up here on the live streams before. And one thing that she does on hers is that she on her content is that she's like, "Hello, I'm Angie with Growth Angie," and you know, she announces who she is so that people can't really steal her stuff. Like, you know, she tries to take her own um put her own content out there, and it's that whole imposter syndrome. You know, a lot of people are like, yeah, you can copy someone's stuff, but on Clubhouse, I actually have a friend named Avery. He's been in Clubhouse rooms with you and I,
Hmm.
and he when I first got on the platform on the Clubhouse platform, he pulled me into a separate room where it's just me and him, and he's like,
Hmm.
look, Anthony, he's like, if you because I was talking with him about how I was trying to follow in Peter McKinnon's steps. Like, if people wanted to find stuff on Peter McKinnon, they would just go look for his stuff. But they came to your channel for a reason, so you got to stand out. And I think it's really frustrating when people try to mimic other people. In my
Hmm.
opinion.
I think it's because people don't want to challenge themselves. They're like, why do I need to re-engineer what's working? It's kind of like music. Everybody has like a similar sound or a similar look. Like, we'll say people dyeing their hair. I know dyeing your hair ombre was a thing. Dyeing your hair blonde was a thing. Red hair, gray hair. I'm like, y'all want to be old, but as soon as you get gray hair start growing out your scalp, you want to dye it a different color.
Yeah.
But you know, um, but originality is something that I bring to the channel. Uh, if you keep looking at people's videos, you start copying their style. So I don't recommend binge watching the same channel. Find your own rhythm. Do a little bit of research, like I said. Go to the library, read some books, fill yourself with knowledge. You go to college, so you're already aware that you can get a wealth of information. I know with tech channels, well, I'm not going to say that they're lazy, but a lot of them are reading off of a box. We already know tech. We already know tech specs, but we want to know reviews of how is this going to apply to me a month from now, a week from now, a year from now. Are these? What are some new features? I watch Your Average Consumer, and what's interesting about his channel is that he speaks from a regular perspective, like a regular person. I'm not sure if you watched his channel before, but he's a tech channel. He does anything tech related, whether it's cars, standing desks, laptops, phones. But like I said, he's speaking from an average consumer's point of view, not just, I'm just going to feed you information that you're not going to understand.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the biggest, like, especially since, like, you know, the tech part of it is part of my niche. And I remember, like, I was going to review the latest iPhone because, like, I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and when it first came out, I was going to review it. And I was jotting down like all these notes, but I ended up not reviewing it because a lot of the notes I had jotted down were things that people could easily just find on the Apple website. Like, they didn't really need me to tell that. What a lot of people want to know in that kind of circumstance is, like, you know, how is this going to benefit me if I was to invest in this device or in this, you know, and, like, you know, say for example with your niche, since you do a lot of podcasting, like, a lot of people would probably say, like, well, if I subscribe to Bobby's channel, how is it going to influence my life for the better? And so I feel like when it comes down to, like, niching down, kind of like what you just said, you know, people don't want you to just relay the same old stats that everyone else can give, because just from looking on the internet, they want you to give them, like, your own hands-on experience. Like, you know, you talked about how you help people, like, with debt. Like, you know, you could give examples of, like, you know, this is how I was able to get out of this kind of debt. And, you know, they want that real life experience, as I've come to find. And that's really what YouTube is really become about. You know, a lot of people, they jump on the platform to find videos on, like, you know, how to do some kind of repair, like on their car, or how to do tutorials, like maybe on Photoshop or Lightroom, or millions of other things. They don't want someone be on there with this monotone voice, like, this is how you do it. This
But
is how you
look,
do this.
your first video is always going to be worse because you're always going to improve. So just get out of that. What got me on the YouTube channel is I started out with my grandmother's documentary trailer. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I scheduled it 48 hours before it was actually scheduled to post. So all I had to do is just wake up maybe 24 hours after to see what the analytics were going to be for the video. And I got 77 views, and I was really impressed. And
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, even with some of my real estate videos, I did one for WeWork. The first week, it only got 50 views. And then a week later, it got 200 views. Like, you don't know when it's going to blow up. And now it's at 800 and something views. Like, you just don't know when it's going to blow up or if people are watching. People keep saying niche down. But if you become too niche and you try to do something else, people aren't going to watch your channel. They're going to start unsubscribing, and people are going to be like, what's going on? Is this going to be the future of the channel?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, because there's a lot of people that they just want to throw something at the wall and see whatever sticks, and then they'll go with that. And in my opinion, in my honest to truth opinion, like, that doesn't really work, in my honest opinion. But before we get into more conversation, we have someone in the backstage who's been waiting patiently. She's been on live streams with me before. Her name is Annette, and she is in the real estate YouTube content creation niche. So, Annette, how are you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
I'm good.
Hey, Bobby, what's going on? I think we need to adjust this thing, or is it me? I think I need to. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
What's up?
Not much. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm drinking some tea. My husband's been sick for like the last 3 days, and now I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a little bit of scratchiness. So
Feel
I,
better.
yeah, no, I'll be fine. But he's had the worst of it, and he did a COVID test. We've done 2 COVID tests already, and it's negative. So I don't know what it is, but that's what
It
I'm.
could be the weather going back and forth. And over here, it's like hot 1 minute, cold. It's just all over the place.
So I'm having some ginger tea.
But I want to go back to the chat real quick because we had some people in the chat. So Incredible Cat said, I'll have to join next weekend. I'm editing some videos in my PJs right now. She did the laugh emoji. And then, we had Girl with Angie. And then Elvira said, who would have known you were in your PJs? And so then she responded with the laughing. And then Angie said, I always wear fuzzy PJ bottoms when I'm live. And really, like, when it comes down to being live, like, you got to be comfy. Like, I'm Christian, and I go to church on Sundays. Like, I wouldn't want to be sitting there on a live stream, like, wearing a suit and tie, like, all, because I would just feel
I'm
like.
guilty. I do it. My
Well,
pages of going live.
There's no problem with that, but usually, like, by the time I get home from church, I'm just like, I gotta get this choke chain of a tie off around my neck because I just feel like it's a choke chain. But then, kind of going on, man, Annette, you are just a popular person. You have Lalo saying Annette, you have Angie saying, "Hey, Annette." But so I almost called you Angie. Sorry, Annette. Let's tell us about your channel. Well, I always do this. I want people can get their information out to other people so they can subscribe to your channels. So Annette, tell us about your channel. What you do.
I am a real estate agent here in Central Florida, and my channel, it's a real estate channel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a client that wants me to do some real estate videos for him. And I'm just like, okay, let me just shadow you so I can get a perspective of how you want everything done. Because I'm very visual. And everyone's like, how do you edit your videos? I'm like, I can't really explain it. I edit everything in my head, even with all my videos. I try to give people advice of saying, if you're going to record yourself and it's pre-recorded, always go maybe like 5 to 10 seconds more because you can always cut. But if you don't have enough footage, it's just going to look really choppy. But with me, I know when I'm going to cut off and I know when I'm going to come back on.
Yeah. So go ahead and continue on with Annette. Let's hear. You just had a video that kind of took off a little while ago, right?
The video before my last video has gotten over like almost 900 views. So yeah, every day I'm getting traction on that video from suggested, browse and suggested. So it's doing pretty good.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So awesome. So Annette, when did you start your channel?
I started last year, but I have not been consistent. Consistency and discipline are two of the things that I need to work on. Yeah, I've only got like 10 videos out on it, but started again with another video last week. I'm trying to put something else out this week. That's the plan, to try to do 1 video a week. But yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year. So I got to start all over again and try to get those watch hours and to try to get the monetization thing going, hopefully.
Well, I was kind of in that same boat. Like, for the first year, I didn't really put out too much content. But then when January 2022 came around, I was like, okay, like, I got to take this more seriously this year. And I really started, I started doing the weekly creative hangouts, and I started really just saying, like, if you're serious about this, Tony, you got to get involved in this. And for anyone who's wondering, like, yeah, I do go by Tony or Anthony. It doesn't matter, really. Like, you can call me either. I know that Angie said in last week's Creator Hangout, she's like, I'm going to have a hard time calling you Tony because I'm so used to calling you Anthony instead. So, honestly, I respond to both. But really, I think when it comes down to it, it's all, Bobby and I, we were just talking about this, like, YouTube comes down to how much you're willing to put forth into it, and it sounds like Annette, like, you're kind of in the same boat as I am, where you're wanting to put out more content. You're more serious about this year than you were last. And that's fantastic. But, there's so many people who they they start on YouTube, and then after like 3 months give up. They're like, my channel didn't take off. Like, this is such a scam. Like, I don't think this is gonna work out. And I was
Yeah.
like, you didn't give it enough time. I'm
They
sorry.
blame YouTube, but it's not YouTube. It's us.
It
Mhm.
depends on
I
the
take
niche.
full responsibility.
Unfair advantages.
What was that?
I said it depends on your niche. Sometimes there are unfair advantages.
You think so? I don't know. I think it's the content. You know, you as the creator, you have to. And it's funny because I was watching MKHD, and he's you know, all about, you know, and Roberta Blake, like, make videos that people want to watch.
Mhm.
That's what's gonna grow your channel. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. And I
So-
think that I'm going to say this, but I want to go back to the chapter of this. But I think that a lot of people, they always compare themselves like, oh, I could never amount to like Mr. Beast or Roberto Blake or Peter McKinnon or like, you know, some Daryl Eves and, you know, all these big time creators. But the thing that they don't understand is that all these creators, they had to all start with 0 subscribers as well. And they all knew that this is what they wanted to do for a career. Like, they all knew that this is something that they were very interested in, so they really just were consistent. And like I said to Bobby earlier, Mr. Beast's channel didn't even take off for like 7 years. Like, you know, I watched an interview that he was doing with Joe Rogan. I have yet to finish. I want to finish watching it, but he talked about how when he was 11, he first got on the platform, but then he got off it for a little while. But then when he was in high school, he started up again. And it was just so cool and fascinating to see that, you know, someone as big as Mr. Beast, aka, you know, Mr. Incredible about everything, you know, he donates so much money, but he had his fair share of struggles, like, you know, and that inspired me to keep going. But I want to go back to the chat because we got some big time people in here. We got Colin Michael, who actually just last week put in his 2 weeks notice at his job because he wants to do YouTube full time. So I got to give you a round of applause for that, because that's something that I want to do, Colin, and that's very impressive. And then we got
Go Colin.
exactly. We got John in the building in the chat. Thanks, John, for coming on. And got my boy Lalo. He said he's going to try to join up, and we would love to have you, Lalo. You gave some great insight and feedback last week, so definitely come on up.
Anthony, I have I just wanted to ask Bobby. That's interesting what he said as far as what he thinks is unfair advantages with niches. But before he answers that question, the reason why I mentioned MKHD is because I'm taking a skill. Well, I signed up for the Skillshare for the 30 days trial to take the Final Cut course. But I've been, you know, looking at other courses on there, and he has one, MKHD, about YouTube. And he showed like some videos of when he started, like, you know, like the camera that he had, like it was like his phone and dark lighting, and, you know, like everybody, like what you were saying, starts from 0, you know, like, and you just get better with each and every video. I just started the course today. I was just very, very, very interesting. Yeah, really, really good stuff. But I wanted to find out from Bobby if he could elaborate a little bit on what he said as far as
I won't say the person's channel, but I'll say this person was on YouTube, well, a total of 6 months now. I noticed with his channel, he originally had like maybe 50 subscribers or whatever. He posts up a WeWork video. That's how I found his channel, because I was just comparing, you know. And then he ended up posting up a video on the day of the life of a software engineer. And then his YouTube channel just blew up overnight, and he gained over 10,000 subscribers now.
Is that a vlog channel? I've been noticing that vlog channels, like a lot of people are interested in that. Like, I
don't think it's a vlog channel. It's more of just anything tech related, like coding, how to apply for jobs in software and engineering and stuff like that. I just noticed that a lot of them in that niche are blowing up very fast. And it just seemed like it's just weird that one video got like 30,000 views and just skyrocket. So I don't know.
Well, my video, like I've only had like, I don't know, 80 or 100 80 to 100 views on each of my videos. And then all of a sudden, this last, like I said, the video before last, it just kind of took off. I mean, for my little
Mhm.
baby channel, I've already got almost 900 views. So I guess take some time for YouTube. I guess
Figure
YouTube
it out.
found the audience, the right audience for that video, and now it's kind of taken off virality and for me, for my little baby channel. I'm like excited about it.
Mhm.
But I don't know, like I said, I think you have to put not you, but people have
Yeah.
to put in the work if they want the channel to grow. And if it doesn't grow, it's on us. It's not on anybody else. It's not YouTube's fault. Like, you got to make good content. You got to make something that people want to watch, the right title, and things like that. I mean, that's why I see it. Like, we all have the opportunity to get in on the piece of the pie, YouTube pie. And so, it's just up to us to do that. And yeah, so that's about it. Anyway, it's just interesting what you're saying. I mean, I find that I've been doing a lot of research like on vlog channels, because I want to start a vlog channel. And
Mhm.
I see that people really like the day in the life. Like, it's like a reality show. People like that stuff.
They like,
Yeah.
like that keeping up with the Kardashians kind of.
Yeah, I used to be addicted to that show back in
Me
the day.
and Anthony were talking about when you get too niche and when you try to break off and do something else, sometimes you lose your audience, or people are just like, is this going to be the new direction? Are they going to do the videos that I came there for? It's like, how do you find your voice and also follow your passion?
Oh, that's
What
what you all were talking about before. I was.
Yeah, so I
works?
think when it comes down to it, like obviously, like it's good to niche down. Like they tell that to us all the time in Video Ring Academy. You got to niche down, like because that's important, and it is important. But kind of like how Bobby was saying, like if you niche down like really heavily, then all of a sudden you like, let's say if you niche down in like tech, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you throw up a cooking video, your viewers are gonna go like, what the heck? Like this, I subscribed
Mhm.
to your channel because you talked about tech, and now you're throwing up a cooking channel video. Like this isn't what I subscribed to. And a lot of people do get mad. Like I actually had that experience where one of my first videos was a reaction video where I reacted to a Peter McKinnon video that he posted. And this person was like, I couldn't stop laughing in the video. I had to subscribe. And I was like, hey, thanks for subscribing. And then the next video I posted wasn't a reaction video, and that person ended up unsubscribing. And so at first I was a little bugged by it, but I was just barely getting started on the YouTube platform. And yeah, it was frustrating. But one of my good friends that I've known since 2007, he's like, subscribers, they come and go all the time. He's like, you just got to not pay attention to that. But before we're going to bring Colin on, but I want to show an excerpt. I'm going to turn off this background music real quick. Let's see here. We're going to stop that. But I'm going to bring Colin up, but then I want to show an excerpt of my very first YouTube video. And I'm not saying this to boast about myself. Like, I just want to show people like, this is where I began. But let's bring Colin on. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Colin.
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
How are you, man?
Good. Having a good Sunday. Very relaxing.
Awesome.
That's good.
So before we watch this little excerpt of my video, Colin, let's have you talk about what your channel's about. I give everyone this chance to kind of talk about the channel. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I teach new creators how to film, edit, and grow their YouTube channels. Primarily, I've been focusing on the mobile side, so how to like film and edit all from like a phone, how to go through like uploading your videos and being able to do all YouTube stuff just using your phone. So that's what I do.
And you just are in the process of finishing up your course, right? You were like talking to us all about that in the group chat. Like you have a course that's going to be coming out here soon, right?
Yeah, so right now it's in the beta stages. And then yeah, it should be probably coming out in the next couple of weeks here, which is also super exciting. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That'll be awesome. Looking
Now, for
forward
those
to it.
watching, if you don't know what he was talking about, like you can actually, as a content creator, that's one of the perks about being content creators. Like you can create courses, whether it be like, I could create a course on photography. Colin's creating a course on how to help you grow your channel. Bobby could create a course on how to be excellent in podcasting, Annette with real estate. But that's exciting in itself. But we did give you a shout out a little while ago because you have decided to go all in full time on YouTube. You gave your 2 weeks notice this past week, and how was that like? Was that kind of nerve wracking when you did that?
Absolutely nerve-wracking. And it was like as soon as I made that decision, like I felt like the weight in my chest, and like it was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually going full time on this. Crazy. So yeah, Saturday is my last day. I have like 4 more days left, working days. So Saturday will be my last day, and I won't be working a normal job anymore. So that's exciting, and that also means like I'm gonna have so much more time to like put into content and potentially go daily, which is going to be also just a crazy thing to do right out the gate. But yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So I mean, that's just like when you said that. When you and then I got to bring this up. I have to dignify. I have to call the elephant out in the room. When you posted about going full time on YouTube, someone tweeted back at you that just blew up your entire tweet, and that was Mr. Beast. And he said, what was it that he said to you?
Make the best videos possible.
Exactly.
That's big.
Exactly.
And I had to bring that up because Grow with Angie, who has been in the chat, she mentioned on our little group chat via Instagram, she's like, I'm sure Collins he probably just turned off all his notifications on this because so many people, were saying like, oh, Mr. Beast, I would love if you could help me out. And they're all just like basically like begging Mr. Beast to help him out. And I thought in my mind, like, Mr. Beast probably gets attacked like on a daily basis. Like people saying, like, hey, can you help me out with my channel? And before we know it, that's gonna be Colin. Like people are gonna say, oh, Colin, can you help me out with my channel, please? Please just help me out. But 2 things. I wanted to hear your reaction to that, Colin. But I wanted to, before I hear your reaction, John said, Peter Lindgren just posted a good video about vlogging. He gives good context for creating a following. So Annette, that might be something you want to look into. You may want to check out.
On Skillshare. That's on Skillshare. That's what he's, because we're talking back and forth about Skillshare, and he agrees that Skillshare has a lot of good courses on there. Yeah.
So there we go. You guys have already been talking. That's great minds work thinking alike. But Colin, what was your reaction to when Mr. Beast tweeted you back?
So like I was on my phone at the time, so I'm just like scrolling through whatever, and all of a sudden I get the little notification like Mr. Beast replied, and I was like, wait a minute, is this like even the real one? This is probably someone with like some fake account, doing whatever. And I click on it, I'm like, holy crap, it's the real Mr. Beast. And then like my wife freaked out. She was like, who are you that you have Mr. Beast replying
That would have been me.
to you?
I would have freaked out.
Like, I did not marry you for this reason. And then like after that, it was just endless notifications. Like, and so notifications are still off on my Twitter, and that was like a week ago. So and now every time I go into Twitter, I still have all these notifications of like people like either liking his comment or liking other people's comments in the thread. So yeah, it's it'll still be a while before I can turn my notifications back.
I have a question for you, Colin. Do you think when you like blow up to like 1 million subscribers, like will you still come on the Hangouts with us? Come on.
I will still come on the Hangouts.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He's not going to be too cool for us.
Yeah.
I want to be accessible. So even, when I get to that point, I want to still be like, available for people. I mean, my time might be more limited then, but, I still want to, be accessible. Yeah.
Can't forget your roots of where you came from, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Like I had mentioned to Anthony, I'm new to social media, the whole Instagram, YouTube, what else is there? Clubhouse, I have a Facebook group. And how do you stay consistent on each platform? And there's a different level of consistency. Like Twitter, you got to post 100 times a day, it seems like. Instagram, at least once a week or whatever. TikTok, 3 or 4 times a day. It's just a lot. How do you manage all that?
So how I would go about this is this was advice from Sean Cannell and Heather Torres. They said focus on one platform at a time because if you focus on too many platforms at a time, you're gonna get that burnout. You're gonna get burned out. You're gonna feel like not motivated. And really, so if I were you, Bobby, like I would just take one platform, especially like when it comes to being a content creator, like take you I'll use example like focus on the YouTube platform and then when you have a good following on YouTube, then move to TikTok and then move to Instagram. You get what I mean when I
Mhm.
say that. But I wanted to get Colin and Annette's poor take on that. But while they're coming up, I'm going to bring Lalo. I mean, while they're talking, I'm going to bring Lalo up on stage because he's here in the background.
Yes. It's a party. It's
And
a party.
Yo,
So,
what's up, guys?
Annette, what's your take on
Me?
this?
Why me? Let's ask Colin first.
Okay, Colin, what's your take on this? Fair enough.
Yeah. So I'd agree with like Anthony and like Sean, where it's like just focus on like one platform. Like for me, like I grew my channel just off of like YouTube. I didn't worry about like Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. I even know like I got on Twitter like only like a couple of months ago, which is just nice for connecting with other creators, obviously. But that was it. But I think what's probably more important is figuring out like what is success for you. Is it just like growing your YouTube channel? Is it growing your business? And like who you're trying to reach out to, and then being on the platforms that those people are on. So like if you're creating content for I don't know, what's a random example here, like people who are interested in like tech, there's probably a lot of platforms that they might be on. But you probably want to just focus on one of those and create content there. And then maybe eventually when you get to a point where you're making revenue there, you could always hire someone to edit content for you and repurpose stuff. And then they can help you get out onto multiple platforms, like with like the short content. I'm sure there'll be new platforms that are going to come out in the next 5 years that will all be on, whether those are other types of clubhouses or TikToks or YouTubes or whatever. And you don't even have to necessarily like post a video once a week. Like if you want to, you can. And that's usually the standard that people mostly go for, but you can do every other week if that's easier for your schedule, or once a month if you really wanted to. So I wouldn't, don't feel like super pressure to put all this content out. Like I'm now just getting to a point because I'm going full time where I can post videos like every single day and probably spread myself out more. But I think it all depends on, because maybe YouTube is a bad option. Maybe your audience isn't really on YouTube and they're really more on LinkedIn or they're more on Instagram, and it makes more sense to put more content out there versus, YouTube. So, I wouldn't worry about being everywhere at once, but I think if you know what success is for you on YouTube, if that's just getting views or if it's making income or achieving a certain subscriber amount, figure out what that is and then kind of figure out who you're trying to reach and what platforms, they're on.
Definitely.
All right, Annette, your turn.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I was actually in the group trying to tell people to come on here.
Yeah, then go ahead. I'll get Lalo's take on it, and you can just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, no, go ahead, Lalo, and then I'll go.
Bro, I was muted. What was the question again?
Ask Bobby. What was the question that you were asking, Bobby?
I was just asking a generic question. I just use Instagram for my business for bookings and all that, and I use YouTube to express the podcast and real estate videos and stuff. But the question was, since there's a lot of discussion on how often you should post on different platforms, like they recommend on Twitter posting maybe once every hour or two. Instagram, you got to be posting reels, IG live, all types of things. What is there? TikTok, which I'm new to. They want you to post at least 3 to 4 times a day to get a ton of engagement. I don't think it's necessary, but that's what everyone keeps advertising for you to grow.
That is a good question. I feel like it really comes down to how often you can produce the content that you're producing. So, like for example, if your videos, you know that you can make once a day, and you can keep that high standard of quality that you're aiming for, then by all means, post once a day. But if you feel like you can only produce the videos that you want every 2 weeks, I mean, if every 2 weeks they're going to be able to come up, come out with a really good video that people are going to enjoy and likely watch from beginning to end, then post every 2 weeks. I don't really think that there's a set schedule that you need to follow. Like for example, obviously Mr. Beast, he's already like up there, right? So it doesn't really matter much if he uploads once a week or once a month. But as we've come to see, he would rather, literally just scratch a video, even if he spent all this money, he spent all this time working on it, if it doesn't meet his quality standards. So he ends up posting like once a month, and that's fine because we know that once a month he's going to come out with a really great video that, I mean, at least for me, I know I'm going to want to watch from beginning to end, and I'm going to be satisfied at the end. So obviously I know that it takes a lot to create a video at that kind of scale. So, if, the way we can apply that as, smaller creators is if we know that every week we can come up with a really good video, then so be it. Every week we can post a video. If you really cannot post a video, more than once a month, but once a month you can come up with a really good video, then just post once a month. Just kind of stick to a schedule that you can follow, and that you're going to be able to come out with something amazing every, so often. So yeah, pretty much just don't go the route of like, oh, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna post once a week, and then you can't really even live up to that expectation, and then your viewers are disappointed.
Agree.
All right, Annette, it is up to you now for some great advice.
Guys, what can I say after that? I don't know. What was I gonna say? I would say just focus on one platform, whether it's YouTube or whatever it is, like whatever your goals are, what you're trying to do, accomplish, whatever that platform is, like go all in on that platform, and then maybe have a secondary platform. Like mine is Instagram. I like Instagram and YouTube, and now I'm getting into Twitter. But then have maybe a secondary platform where you could kind of do, things here and there to grow that as well. And then maybe the other ones just kind of maybe have a footprint there, like have a profile, to where, that audience can find you there, whether it's, because I'm on TikTok, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on all of the social medias. Like I have a handle on all of them, but I'm not really active on all of them. Like LinkedIn, I'm not really active on there, but at least have that presence on there that if someone wants to find you that uses only LinkedIn, then, they can find you there. Hopefully that makes sense, but, I would say just focus on the one, see what platform you really, depending on your goals and everything, just go all in on that platform, and then maybe just have a secondary platform if you want to. But it's hard to keep up with all of the social medias. Like I've tried it, and it can get really overwhelming. It could really
it can. Like I was trying to do when I first started, I was trying to do everything. I was trying to do YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, like every one of them. And I was even after like a couple of weeks ago, I was already starting to feel the burnout. But Angie, this comment that's posted right here, she brings up a good point. She's like, I'm getting a lot of views on my Facebook Reels between 250 to 1K, taking time, but want to do them every day, but not putting pressure on myself for a schedule. And that's a very valid point, because I see all the time, like when I kind of am scrolling through like YouTube, for example, people who post on their YouTube channel are like, new videos every day on this day. Like, yeah, that's great for them to do that, but like, what happens if they don't, post a video on that day? They're going to let their viewers down. So one suggestion that I always give people is to say, like, yeah, try to do the once a week. But it's kind of like what Lalo said, like, if you can't post like once a week, and if it's like once a month, then hey, more power to you. Just make sure that your videos are just that 1% better with every video. As Sean Cannell always says, like, you don't want to be down-tracking instead of up-tracking, if you get what I mean. Does that
May
help?
I add something?
Yeah, go ahead, Lalo.
So I mean, like I said, I really believe that it doesn't, I mean, personally, it doesn't matter if you like, posting once a week, once a month. But if obviously, if you're going to be posting once a month, you totally want to make sure that you don't post something that like, people will be able to tell that it took you like such little effort and such little time and it took you an entire month. Like if you're going to be posting and taking that long in between videos, then you totally want to make sure that your videos are going to be that good. Like they don't have to be a free masterpiece that like you all these high production or anything, but you totally want to show that you're putting in the effort and that for your viewers it's worth waiting an entire month for you to post another video, because they know that once you do, they're going to be extremely satisfied and they're going to be like, yep, this video was totally worth waiting an entire month. But if that's not going to be able to happen and you can maybe stick to every 2 weeks, I think every 2 weeks is like a happy medium. Like it's not once a week to like where you're going to be extremely committed. But it's I think enough time to where like you can spend an entire week filming, and like planning or whatever, and then another whole week for editing and branding, thumbnail, whatever that you need, and then posting the video. I think that is like the happy medium for me. So I don't know if anyone agrees with that.
So like you're saying kind of like quality versus quantity, because you can put out a video every week, but if like the quality isn't there, right? It's better to just do that one video, like you said, once a month or once every other week that like you're gonna give it all, right? You're gonna go all in and create an amazing video that your audience is gonna want to watch. Basically, is that what you're saying? Because I think it's quality over quantity for sure.
100%. I
Yeah.
think we know that YouTube really favors viewer satisfaction nowadays. So, I mean, me personally, I would 100% of the time choose to spend more time creating a video that I know will actually really satisfy my viewers, as opposed to sticking to once a week. Unless I can definitely like know that every week I can produce a high quality video, then I would, have that schedule. But I probably wouldn't go as far as like telling all my viewers that every week they can expect a video. I would more so just start doing it, and if I have to miss a week because I'm working on like a bigger video, or something fell apart and I have to start from scratch, whatever project that I'm working on, then I just would not at least feel that pressure of like, man, like I already committed to all my viewers that I was gonna drop a video this week, and I'm not going to, and everyone's gonna think that like I'm just being lazy, when in reality I'm over here working so hard on this video. So yeah, comes down to whichever way works best for you. But in my opinion, I think quality is gonna be more favored by YouTube. Like I think they will likely promote your video more if you are keeping viewers engaged all the way through, which means that you have a high quality video.
I would like to say, as a person who does post every other week, that you should start every other week just to build up your momentum, fill out your audience, and it also gives you a week off to do other things and also plan before executing. Like I mentioned to Anthony before, I spend a lot of time researching, making sure that my guests are well educated enough to be featured on the podcast. And I try to emphasize people having like the best quality of content, of being able to express their ideas and thoughts, because what we get used to seeing on YouTube is people stealing other people's content, and that's not always right, and that can also misguide people on certain topics. And like I had mentioned on my webinar, I talked about some issues that weren't even brought up in the Black community. If you look up Black men in general, they just talk about mental health, but they don't talk about the different identities that we all hold, whether we're Black, white, Asian, or such, so on. It goes into like sexuality, religion, what your beliefs are, what your values are, and all types of things. So it's important to make time for yourself, making sure that you don't feel overwhelmed, and making sure that you bring the highest quality video that you can, and just try to put yourself in the consumer's point of view. Like, would you click on your own video? If you say no, then probably don't post that. If you say yes, then definitely post it. So yeah, that's my advice.
No, that's great advice. I feel like, it kind of leads into a good segue of something that I always like to bring up, and that is, mental health. As a content creator, we're all always pressured to, always be happy, be chipper, like life is good kind of thing. But in all actuality, mental health is probably the most crucial part about being a content creator, because if you're not right up here, then your content's not going to be right, and you're going to start falling behind, you're going to start slacking off because you're going to be so overwhelmingly depressed that you're not going to be motivated to even create content. So I mean, even going on like the different socials, just is telling your followers, they're like, hey, I'm just taking some me time. I need this time for me. I hope you understand. And more than half the time, your followers, your subscribers, whoever it is, they're going to say like, no worries. We'll just look forward to when you come back. You know, Lito, who's in the comments today, he can't join because he says, hey guys, just woke up after a big night out in Osaka. Sorry, I won't be able to join today. There's some construction going on in the background, jackhammer time. But he himself is a great example, like where he won't post content for a little bit. Like he won't go live for maybe like a week or so because he wants to take some time for himself or spend some time with his wife. You know, they got married during the pandemic, so they're still, in my opinion, newlyweds, you know, because they're in their first couple years of marriage. And so that kind of thing is important, you know. And even Angie, she even says, I post once a week or every other week. I don't want to be just throwing something up. I want to make sure I want valuable content. And then she agreed with Lalo on this. Because if you're throwing up good, decent content, and if they're having to wait like every other week, in my opinion, they're going to be more inclined to not only feel inclined to share your content with others, but they're going to want to keep returning to your content because they're going to say like, man, this person, like, you know, this Bobby guy or this Annette, she's putting out this great content. I want to see what she comes out with next. But I want to get Colin's take on this. He's been kind of quiet. He's been sitting there like kind of thinking, and I want to get his thought process on this.
Yeah, I think just like in like regards to like mental health, I've definitely hit like burnout before where like I've just put like too much, like, you know, I'm just going so much at it, or I'm taking too much on me to where I've had to like take breaks and step away. And I think like also just something I've done in the past that's helped me with that is if I'm able to schedule out content too. Because I feel like when I do hit those burnout places, it's like, man, I'm letting my audience down because now I'm taking like multiple weeks off because I overworked myself. So what I like to do is schedule content out. So that way, like videos will continue to come out like once every single week, but I can also then just take a break, not worry about it, kind of go on, get refreshed. Because also when you burn out and you hit those spots, you just lose your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to kind of be like almost like re-energized in a way where you have to like step away for a bit. And then when you come back, you're like refreshed. You have all these great ideas for videos and you can go back to kind of doing everything. Yeah, so it is kind of like a, you know, a balancing game. Because at the same time too, you know, you want to keep putting out videos, you want to keep growing, you want, you know, you have like this goal in mind. So yeah, it's a hard balance for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully probably that gives you a little bit of insight, like, you know, maybe don't overstretch yourself. Like I think that's the most vital part about being a content creator. You don't want to feel overstretched. You know, Nez, he always talks about how your biggest enemy is the person in between your ears. And I feel like that there's a lot of truth in that, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to struggle in other areas. And that includes being a content creator. I know that for myself, like there for a while, I didn't post for like 3 months. And it was because I had a lot going on in my life. But at the same time, like, I didn't feel like I had the capability and the mental awareness, and so to speak, to post. And like you, Bobby, at the first, I was trying to post on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. And not even after like a week or two, like I was already starting to feel that burnout. Like I was really just like, do I really want to do this? And yeah, my family's dog is howling in the background because there's an ambulance on the device. You guys might be hearing some howling in the background, but that's just my take.
Agreed. I do want to recommend some videos for you guys that are on my channel. Like if you want to start any type of goal in general, I have a video called goal setting and vision boards where you're jotting down all your ideas onto a piece of paper. I always tell people write down nouns, verbs, adjectives. It could be colors, quotes, or anything that inspires you. And then manifest some words that you see yourself in the future. 10 words, and then you're gonna make a chart or some type of vision board and stick it together. And have another video called New Year's Resolution. Yeah. And this is where I write everything to my Notion account. How I'm gonna achieve these goals. How am I going to take action? If this doesn't work out, then what's option number 2? Or if that doesn't work, what's option number 3? Or should I just get rid of that? Get rid of that idea and move on to something different that I can achieve, and be realistic with yourself. It's great that we can be extreme and have like a giant goal of being this big time creator, but what are the baby steps to get there? Everyone has a different path. It doesn't matter what channels that you're watching or the advice that you're getting, unless if you're implementing it, you're not going to get anywhere. And I have a video on mental health, wellness, and exercise. We always think of mental health, which is taking a break. But what can we do day to day, like going walking, go for a run, interacting with our friends, get outside the house? Because I know a lot of content creators and a lot of performers, we go into loneliness, and sometimes we forget who we are and stop valuing ourselves. But when we put ourselves first, then you can achieve anything. And that's my word of advice.
I appreciate that.
Sorry, I was responding to someone in the private chat. No, but I think that that's important, because being a content creator and just being a human being in general, like, you got to have your me time. Like, everyone has to have their me time. Annette, she goes to the gym all the time, and that's probably part of her me time. And I'm sure Colin has his own way of doing me time. I'm sure Lalo has it. I have my own time when I just want me time. But I think that that's very important. But I wanted to show an excerpt of, my very first video. And this is not me just boasting about myself, saying like, oh, look at me. Like, this is not that at all. This is just goes to show like where everyone has to start. But I want to share this. So I'm going to share my screen.
Can't wait to watch.
Oh man, it's pretty awkward. I'm not going to lie.
That's the best videos.
Facts.
So mentors, I had 2 mentors. As you can see, and all this, and it was my brother George, and I had church leader, whose name was Greg Sargent, who was my other mentor. And Greg told me a lot of people won't want to buy mobile prints because they can only blow them up to like 8x10, 8x11, and so you're just not going to really get much money off of it. So anyway, I had to just share that, because I'm going to remove that real quick because it's kind of confusing. That just kind of shows where everybody starts. Like, you could tell my audio was bad. I was awkward as all can be. And like, being a content creator, like, it's like what Bobby said earlier. I'll reinforce that by saying, like, at least your first 10 videos are going to suck. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I'm being blunt, honest. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm very blunt. I'm very honest when I have to be. And I'm just throwing out there saying, like, your first like 10 videos or so, they're going to suck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I hate to be that person to tell you, but they're going to suck.
If not more than that, if not more videos than that, because it takes a while, but the thing is to get better with each video, just get a little better, fix your lighting, fix the mic, whatever it is, like me, with my first video, I did not know how to zoom in my M50, like do the, make it to where I wasn't like, boom, right in your face. So if y'all go back and see my first video, I was like all in the camera. My big head was in the camera. I didn't know any better, but yeah, I would say more than 10 videos, but definitely for sure.
Yeah. But
it takes some time.
And Bobby just posted in the chat, go at your own pace, your own competition. And that's so true. Like, you're not competing with anyone else. Like, yeah, you have other people in your niche, but you're really competing with yourself. You're trying to improve yourself. So that's just how I am.
I agree with that.
So we'll actually talk about we'll use Lalo for example. Lalo, you started on the platform at what age?
So I was about 11 years old when I had first started on YouTube.
And it took a long time for you to grow, right?
A very long time, yeah. I think my channel, like in terms of growth, I think it only started to pick up in like 2017. So although you can't just hit the mic, although you can't see some of those earlier videos, which I do have some like privated, but although you can't see those videos, like I was posting videos from from 2011 all the way to 2017, and would only experience like slow growth, and I was okay with that because at the time, like I wasn't keep hitting the mic, but I wasn't super like focused on like YouTube, like this is what I want to do, like this is what I envision myself doing long term. So for me, it was more of a hobby. I was like still in high school, like I wasn't even worried about like I need to make this a career. But obviously, as I come to learn, and this becomes something that I'm so passionate about, and like if I started in 2011 and now in 2022 I feel still as passionate, like that should tell me something about like this is something that I want to pursue. And really, it takes a long time. Obviously my videos when I was 11 were terrible, but I'm proud that I started, with those videos, because now I feel more confident in my editing, in my storytelling, lighting, like all these things that like, I feel more, confident in my video production skills. So really, like everyone says, my first 100 videos probably sucked and were so bad, but like over time I gotten a little bit better, and while I still have so much more to improve, I can say that I feel now more confident in my video making skills.
For sure. And I mean, Lalo, your first YouTube, you just barely started your second YouTube channel. And in that first video, I gotta say, like that thing was a banger of a video. Like it was such a good video. I was so impressed. Number one with the editing. Number two, just the mere fact that like your motivation and your the way you talked in it made people excited to like watch until the very end. Like it was kind of like a little bit of a shorter video, but it was just you kind of introducing yourself and saying like, if you feel inclined, like subscribe to my channel. You weren't like, please subscribe to my channel. You weren't like begging people. You were just like, if you like this content, I would invite you to subscribe. And I think that that's the biggest thing is that like, especially like if you're starting out on YouTube and you're watching this, whether it be live or on the replay, sub for sub does not work. We talk about this all the time. I think this comes up at least once a week on this creator hangout where sub for sub does not work. And if you don't know what sub for sub is where someone contacts you like via Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and says like, hey, I'll subscribe to your channel if you subscribe to mine. Because honestly, when it comes down to it, that doesn't work because YouTube kind of looks at that and it will actually hurt your channel because they're not watching your videos. They're just worried about getting this subscriber count. And you still have that 4,000 hours of watch time that you have to get on your channel even before you enter into the YouTube partner program. So
can I just add one more thing?
Go ahead.
Also giveaways to get subscribers or just giveaways. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I think you attract because people will just be subscribing to get the giveaway and you won't really have your genuine audience, right? Your true audience and your true followers. And I see a lot of people do that on YouTube. And I just think it's like so wrong. I don't know. It's not the right strategy to gain followers, to gain subscribers. What do you all think about that?
Go ahead. Anyone before I say anything?
They leave afterwards.
And if you all are doing it, I'm sorry, but sorry if I offended you all, but that's just how I feel. But anyways.
I don't think it's bad. Oh, go ahead, Bobby. My bad.
No, I was saying that they leave afterwards to give away. Yeah.
Well, it depends how the give. I'm sorry, I meant to say like it depends on the giveaway, because some people do giveaways for that reason though. Like you know what I mean. I know other people do giveaways for other things, but anyways, I just want to clarify that. Maybe I sounded weird. Anyways.
No, I don't think it sounded
weird. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I actually think that it's totally fine to like want to give back to your audience. Like they literally, sit there and watch your videos and support you. And for a lot of big people, like their audience is the reason why they're able to live the life that they live. So, I mean, I love the idea of doing a giveaway, and I think there are ways that you can do it in you know, in a way that's not gonna bring in the wrong people, and it's just gonna be like reserved for your actual audience that really supports you. But when people do these, and like the first requirement is like you got to be subscribed to the channel, you got to be following me on all these social medias, and that's a very easy way to gain like maybe like even hundreds of subscribers, if not thousands, and then gain all these followers on your Instagram, Twitter. But like realistically, how many of those people are actually going to be engaging with you? Some of those people may not even like actually use social media all that much, and may are just going to be like ghost followers. Some people may even create like multiple accounts to have more chances to win. And now you have all these like accounts that nobody's ever going to use that are following you. So at the end of the day, is it really worth, you know, spending all that time and sometimes resources to do a giveaway and then have all these ghost followers? Because a lot of the times that's what those, you know, turn into. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I just wanted that reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about is that YouTube right now is in the process of doing a huge purge of, you know, like either fake accounts or non-active accounts. And so like, you know, there's a lot of people that are like they're logging in and they're seeing that their subscriber count has gone down. And that's just YouTube doing basically cleaning house. And so people get frustrated and they get mad, but YouTube wants active people on their platform. Same with like TikTok, Instagram. You know, even though Instagram is part of the metaverse, that's true. But no, Lalo, you said some really great things. Like it's great to give back to your community. Like I just did a giveaway a few weeks ago, and he's not here right now, but Shark FinTech won, and I was very happy for him. But the whole gaining subscribers, I mean, doing a giveaway to gaining so you can gain subscribers, it actually goes against the terms of service with YouTube. As you know, Annette and I think Colin, maybe even Lalo was in that room, but Viper on Clubhouse was talking about it. He said it violates the TOS, the terms of service, and that's one thing that they really get frustrated about. Is like when people say like, "Oh well, if you subscribe to my channel, I'll give you this," or you know, you have all these perks. That's not the point of YouTube. That's not like they frown down on that, and that can actually hurt your channel. But that's just my take.
No, you know what? Because we were in another room with Trenton and some other tech creators. This was a while ago, and some guy came in the room and he was giving away a PS5, I think it was, and you can tell like it was just not, the whole thing was just not legit. He was telling us that we had to sub and this and that. He was a new creator, and when he left there, what was it that he was saying? Something like he'll mail it to you, and like really like we're gonna give this guy our address, you know, like to mail this thing. Like it did not seem legit at all, and the guy left, you know. So I'm just saying, like new creators, like sometimes new creators think they're doing this, you know, and they're doing the right strategy, but it's not. You know what I mean? I just wanted to clarify that. But,
and I think probably a lot of people, like if you just go to like YouTube, and I think there's probably a lot of people who just search giveaway on YouTube and go to like the most recently uploaded, and they'll just scroll through them all, and they'll like, oh, that has giveaway in the title, and then they'll like just, you know, do whatever's in there. But you could potentially like use it to attract the right audience too. This is just something I thought of now that I might now go and use. But like depending what you're giving away might cause your target audience to sign up. Just because you said metaverse, Anthony, now it's got me thinking this. So like, because I have an Oculus, so I go metaverse-y. But let's say like the giveaway was for like an outfit in like a VR game. The only people who are going to sign up for that giveaway are people in VR who are interested in that outfit. So again, all those people, if like the requirements are like to follow your socials and to follow you on YouTube and sign up for your email list and all those things, you're attracting your entire audience base. So, you know, depending on what you give away, you could potentially get the audience that you want to get there. But if it's something that's super general, like I was just scrolling through the YouTube giveaway and someone's giving away like a 32-inch TV, you know, everyone's going to be clicking on that video and entering it because it's just kind of like, you know, like generic, like tech and stuff like that. But I think if you are trying to like support your audience and giveaway, you know, maybe just don't put like giveaway in the title. Maybe just make it like a celebration of, you know, milestone or YouTube channel anniversary. And then within that video, anyone who clicks on that celebration, that's when you mention the giveaway. And so it's something special for, your audience hanging out. And that might also keep away all the people who are just searching giveaway and trying to like enter all these contests and stuff. But yeah.
I don't know if you remember, Colin, technically T had that giveaway. I don't know if you're part of his community, but he had like a bunch of giveaways for celebrating. I don't know what it was that he was celebrating. I guess he had a milestone on his subs or something else. Anyways, it was a big milestone, but he wanted to give back to his community for supporting him. And he didn't announce it in that way, just like you said. He just did something. He put the title something different. And he gave away a bunch of prizes, and people even contributed. Even LeBaron, contributed like popcorn. I remember Oscar donated like a gift card. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff. Oh, and Viper gave his Oculus. He had an extra Oculus thing, whatever those things are, the glasses. He donated that. I mean, like you said, there's ways to do that to where you're doing a genuine giveaway and not just like for your gaining subscribers. But I don't know do you know who technically T is, right, Colin?
Yeah, I see him on a Clubhouse, but I don't know if I follow his YouTube channel though.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So yeah, like you said, you're right. There's ways to do it to where you're genuinely giving to your audience, and doing it that way is a really good way to do it.
No, I completely agree with that. I think the thing that I get frustrated with, and Bobby actually brought it up, is let's say you don't take Colin's advice and do the post about 1K anniversary, and you decide, well, I'm going to do a 1K giveaway in my title. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of new people that are going to subscribe to your channel so they can try to get that giveaway. But at the same time, if those people don't win, what's going to happen to them? Well, number one, they're going to get mad because they didn't win. Number two, they're going to leave your channel. They're going to unsubscribe. And number three, they're not going to recommend your channel to other people. So in my opinion, those are three damaging things that can happen to you as a content creator. And so that's one of the reasons why, giveaways are great. I am not ashamed to say that giveaways are good. I mean, are bad. I'm not ashamed to say that they're great, because they are great. But you have to utilize them in a certain way and in a certain time frame. And it's like what Colin said. Like, instead of saying like, oh, 100K giveaway, just say like, 100K celebration milestone. And then like those who attend the live stream, you just go like, hey, by the way, since you're here, I'm doing a giveaway. And so the only way you can participate is by being here in the live stream. So you all that are here, you can participate. And that's one thing that I get really frustrated with, because like there's so many people that have to, they just feel like they just want to win everything. And once they got what they want, they're just gone. It's kind of, I'm going to use a really bad comparison, but here in Utah, we have what's called Deseret Industries. It's like kind of like a Salvation Army kind of thing, like where people can buy. It's a thrift store. And there are people, no joke, that go to the local DIs around the state of Utah, and they will just hang out all day waiting for the new stuff that was donated to come out and see what stuff they can pick through. And once they have what they want, they'll buy it and they'll leave. And so it kind of, and they're kind of, in my eyes, they're like a pack of wolves. Like they're just waiting for their prey. And that's not probably the best comparison, but in a way it kind of is, because they get what they want. And once they have what they want, they leave, and everyone else is left with the scraps, if you get what I mean.
I'm about to log off, but I will say this. You have to figure out, I know there's Clubhouse titles. Is your YouTube channel a business or a hobby? I treat it like a business. So when I tell people about my webinars, I'm telling them that they're getting exclusive content and that they're going to get to work with me personally. And they're going to get information that's not found in other platforms, or go further in depth of the topics that I go, whether it's in filmmaking or in business development, and how they can apply it to the regular routine. So you have to remember to give them something of value. Like, I'm hosting a webinar, you're going to have forever access after this recording's done. you could be entered in for a raffle for 4 people that attend, stuff like that, giving them an incentive and making sure that it provides some value. Like, say, if you were working with people who have kids, would you attract them to something that's like, I don't know, we'll have like a baby, for example. Will you give the parents something to go to like amusement park? No, because they have infants, they can't go on a roller coaster. You have to know what your target market is. So when you're thinking about giving out freebies or giveaways and stuff like that, or any type of contests, you have to make sure that you're targeting the right audience, making sure that it's not going to cost you too much because you're paying for the stuff, and making sure that there's enough people that you're including, because if it's just for one and you have a booking for 100 people, no one's going to buy into that. But if you do maybe like 10 people, that's 1 in 10 of a chance. So they're more likely to subscribe, you know?
Yeah,
Just-
no, I completely agree. And I you have to know your audience. You have to know your target audience. And I'll use a great example from my own personal experience. I did a reaction stream to the Apple event that happened a little while ago, you know, and it was a great stream. I had on a few people at that stream, and it was really fun. But at the same time, like, you have to know your audience, and, you know, obviously that was a good time for me to do that because it was like right after the Apple event, and so that I timed that perfectly to do that. But at the same time, like, let's say if I had decided to do a reaction stream like 3 days later, it would have been too late. I would have been SOL because everyone would have already, you know, come and gone and seen and watched everything that had gone on in the Apple event. They would have said, like, that's old news now. So, but Bobby, I know you have to leave, so thank you for coming on and talking with us.
all of you.
We appreciate you,
Bye.
Bobby. Appreciate you so much. And
Thank
I know that there's a few others that have to step
Yeah.
out here soon. So if you have to step out, I understand that. And so I'm just going to say thank you to you right now.
Thank you
But
for and it was nice meeting you guys.
yeah, it's great meeting you. Like, we host these rooms. There's a Clubhouse reference. We host these rooms. I host these live streams every week. So,
I'll be on.
so definitely come by. Even if it's even in the comments, we'd love to have you.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, bro.
So Annette, you said, I have to say, I really enjoy these creator hangouts. It gives me practice.
Bye, Colin.
Bye, Colin. Thank you.
I'll be leaving soon
Bye.
too. I've got to get to my room, my Clubhouse room, my TikTok
So,
room.
Yeah.
I guess Lalo here in a bit, it might be us, and we might even be ending here soon too, because everyone else is jumping off. But no, but I just want to say thank you to those who are watching, those who are part of the stream, because this is something I actually look forward to. And like, I love not having a set topic, and I think this is how it's going to be going forward. Just like a chill and chat, like giving tips and advice on YouTube, and really just answering each other's questions. Like last week, Lito really shined. Like, he gave Angie a lot and Lalo a lot of good advice on Sony cameras. And so it just kind of depends. And so I know, Annette, you're about to take off, but you're killing it. You're killing it, Annette. Like, the mere fact that you're not this past video, but the video before had like over like 900 views, you said?
Yeah, it's getting traction. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Proud of you, Annette.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
But yeah, just
Chugging along. Check. I'm the engine that could. Check it.
Just Annette, before you get off, and then it'll just be me and Lalo. Lito said he might be able to get on for a few minutes. But Annette, my best advice to you would be this, and it comes from Sean Cano. I refer to him as one of my mentors. It is punch fear in the face, hit record, and always remember 1% better with every video. Always remember that advice, because that's probably the most solid advice coming from one of the most legit, solid people on the platform. You know, Sean has been on this platform over 10 years now. So, but yeah.
And I want to add something too. Anyone down there like Elvira, she says she's an introvert. I'm an introvert. And like, I highly recommend anybody down there that if they want to, you know, like punch fear in the face, like what you're saying, come up here, hang out with us, because we're a community. And, you know, it's getting me out of my comfort zone. little by little, getting me more comfortable with live streaming, and it's practice, you know. And there's not a lot of people, like, it's not like you have like thousands of people on this live stream where you're like, oh my god, like, am I gonna say something that's like, you know what I mean? Like, we all know each other, so like if we screw up a word or whatever, we just, you all know and you'll understand, you know what I mean? Because you all been through that, right? So I encourage anybody down there, like Cass, all these people, like, come on, like, get up here next week.
You guys all saw how I was having a hard time pronouncing words there for a little bit. Like, this kind of stuff happens, but
I am like that too, big time.
But when it comes down to it, live streaming is gonna be, Nez has said this, and I've heard others say this, that live streaming is gonna become the new norm. Like, doing a live stream for your subscribers, it's gonna become the new norm. And so, like, I mean, you have people like Lito, who that's basically like what he mostly does is live streaming. Like, he live streams from his phone, he live streams from his home office. Like, it doesn't not matter where he is. He tries to, if he feels like someone would get value out of like seeing the culture of Japan, he'll live stream. And that's what live streaming is. I always think of it, live streaming, as you're recording a video, but it's actually live. You should treat it like a pre-recorded video, but know that it's a live stream instead.
And then people get to know you. Like, I think they can connect with you on a deeper level. And then, like, when you make those mistakes or whatever, you're just a person just like them, and you're more relatable, I think, that way,
Yeah. Well, Annette, thank you so much for coming. I know you got to jet off, and I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah. And every week you are more than welcome to come on the live stream with us. We love hearing your insights. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that purple lighting is I'm pretty jealous of that. I got my lighting figured out, but I just haven't figured out for the most part how to change the color in it yet. So I got it all figured out for the most part, but it is what it is right now. But thank you. And honestly, big shout out to you. I know Lito has shared your links in the chat for you. I asked him to share those. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'll see you guys
out Annette on her YouTube channel, on Instagram. She's killing it down there in Florida with real estate. She's gonna be the next Christina Smallhorn. No joke. But thanks, Annette.
Thanks, guys, for having me on, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. More people joining.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
Join. All right. Bye.
Yeah, Annette.
Bye.
How do I leave here? Hold on a second.
I'm good.
Let's see. See, this is what the lives do. Okay. Bye. Peace out.
Bye. Peace out. So, Lala, are you good to stay, or do you need to go?
So I do have a room that I have to moderate in like a couple minutes, so I am gonna have to head out. But I really appreciate, as always, you considering me to come up here. I had a great time. And for the people listening right now, if it helps motivate anyone to ever come up on stage, like literally, I got on social audio about a year and a half ago on Twitter Spaces, and then only like 2 months ago on Clubhouse. But before I got on social audio, like, as some of you may know, I'm an English learner. I came to the US about 8, almost 9 years ago. And even up until like 2018, 2019, my accent with English was really, really, really bad. And so social audio is one of the things that has helped me not just be able to hold the actual conversation with people and, not be stuttering all the time or be showing my accent too much. So literally just the fact that I've been able to actually like practice my English even more because I get to talk to all these people pretty much all day long is, I think, a good enough motivation for people to get on here. If you feel like you're an introvert, like I promise you, once you do this a couple times, like you're gonna get so much better and you're gonna actually look forward to coming up on stage, on Clubhouse or even here, and it's just an amazing time. Like Anthony always treats everybody so so welcoming to everyone on the live stream. So thank you so much for the opportunity, as always. And I mean, yeah, these are awesome, and I'm already looking forward to next week.
Yeah, honestly, Lalo, I got to give you a big shout out, man. Like, you are killing it on YouTube. Your first channel has over 419K subscribers or something. I could have even just misquoted that, and I apologize. But man, you're killing it. You are an inspiration to everyone. You're in my eyes one of those quote unquote big time YouTubers because you got a big following, but at the same time you're very humble about it, and that's the most important part about being a content creators like you not letting that ego get the best of you and saying like, oh well, I'm better than you because I have these many subscribers. That's not what YouTube is about. Like you got to be down to earth, full of having a little bit of, you know, as Nez says, some more humanness to this. I can't. He's gonna kill me if he watches this on that. You know what I mean. But yeah, thank you, man, for coming on. I appreciate you. I want you to be able to say hello to Lito real quick. There's my good friend Lito from Japan. Lalo's about to sign off. He has to go host a clubhouse room.
Yo, so, I just got here. Where's everybody? Where's the party? Come on. Oh,
right.
Oh, hey. Sorry. It's Japan time.
You scared him off, Lito. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Lito's coming. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. Hey, Lalo, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you as always, man. I'm glad you were able to come up and I was able to say hi to you.
Yeah. It's like the virtual high five, like, bam, see you later kind of thing, right?
Bam, right?
Oh, I just hit my microphone. Okay.
Good job, Lito.
This is what I love about live. You know, you never know what's gonna happen.
Lalo, thanks again for coming up on stage. I know that's a clubhouse term, but really, man, I appreciate you so much. But really, man, you're just gonna kill it. If you got, Lito has posted all these links for these different content creators in the chat. Make sure you check these guys out. And yeah, Lalo, we'll catch you this week in Clubhouse. Thanks for coming.
Sounds good.
And
Take care, everyone. Good to see you both. Bye.
Hey, man. Take care.
So, Lito, how are you? Like, I know that I always try to stay involved in your live streams, but usually like live streaming like 1 a.m. my time. So I usually I'm like, oh, I'll just turn it on. But then I have the full intentions of watching the entire thing, but then I just like zonk out. So like, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm totally, well, I just woke up, like I told you. Had a big night out there in Osaka, went out to celebrate my friend's business. And just to address, the time difference. Yeah, it is super crazy, right? Japan and the US. I think we're on like a 13-hour, sometimes 15-hour, 17-hour time difference. So when you're on and you need to conk out, I totally understand that. And I thank you so much every time for when you're on. So thank you.
Well, I mean, you and we've become such good friends over the past like year or so. And like, it's just such a great thing to be able to know that, like, it's so cool knowing how technology has evolved this much that I can have like a virtual face-to-face conversation with you and talk about this platform in this whole thing that we're both very passionate about and really just having fun with. But before you respond, I gotta say a few shout outs. JJ, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you so much. He's such a cool Scottish guy. Like, if you don't know who he is, like, this guy is like, he's the legit Scottish guy. Like, he's so funny. When he does live streams, Lito can attest. This guy is so funny when he does live streams. It makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, JJ is awesome, man. One, he's got the skills to really do amazing things with graphics and marketing, and I'm so happy and blessed to have him in part of my team and helping me grow. But more than that, he's just a really nice guy, and he's interesting too. You know, like when he does his lives, he's showing us around in his place in Scotland. He's walking around and showing us the sights. But I think it's his demeanor, like his personality. People can relate to him, and then I think that's why, even though he's just starting out, a lot of people go and watch him.
Yeah, but so going back to the chat, Kendrick, he says, "What up, Lito?"
Yo, what up, Kendrick?
And then he's also said, "What up to me?" Lalo, man, you're welcome every time to come on. Like, we love having you on these creator hangouts. You give so much good advice and influence. Man, you are just going to kill it. And then Elvira says, what time is it over there?
Oh, in Japan, it is 9:58 a.m. So like I said, just woke up about maybe 2 hours ago, just kind of lazily doing some things around the house. And woke up to the sound of there's like a jackhammer going on across the street. Like, what? I thought I lived in the countryside. What's this construction? I guess they're fixing the pipes underground or something. But so if you do hear some sound in the background, it's not me, passing gas or farting. It's just like.
Well, we'll keep that in for reference. But yeah, so Lito, I know that you don't want to. I know that you're kind of still waking up, but tell us a little bit about your channel, like what you do over there in Japan for your channel.
Yeah. So the channel's called A Little Bit of Japan, and it's kind of play on words. Again, JJ came up with that awesome name for me, and I think it really encompasses what I do here. So a lot of people do like travel channels. They're showing the sights and the scenes and little hidden gems here in Japan. But what I do that, but I also kind of infuse a bit of my own kind of personal experiences and personality, right? So like I've been living in Japan 18 years. I've been doing music in Japan for 18 years. Like I've been in cover bands performing here and there. So I know a lot of the ins and outs that like a typical tourist or even someone who's lived in Japan a long time might not know, right? So last night, for example, I went out to my friend's bar. He owns a video game bar called Space Station, right? 11th year anniversary. They've got like the old school Nintendo 64, the Sega Genesis, and everybody's hanging out. You don't have to pay for the games. You just go there, buy a drink or whatever, and it's just a really chill, cool atmosphere. And that kind of stuff, people might not know that's there, but it's definitely in Japan. It's related to Japan, but I want to put local businesses and cool experiences like that on the map to help people want to come to Japan, or when they do come to Japan, definitely put it on their hit list.
Yeah, and Lito still to this day is trying to get me to come over there, but I told him on one of those live streams, like, dude, I hate flying, and so I'm gonna overcome my fears just to come to Japan, just to make Lito happy.
Awesome. And then when you come here, we can make each other hungry. Yeah, we always joke about making each other hungry, right?
Instagram earlier about like that grilled chicken I made.
I did. I didn't have time to rebut that, but I got some for you. Don't worry, we'll get.
Until next week, because next week's Mother's Day.
Whoa.
I'm cooking for my mom for Mother's Day. I've already talked to her about this. I'm cooking beef, pineapple glazed beef barbecue ribs on the grill. And these things are to die for. And I completely they are amazing. Like I'll send you the recipe off of it like offline, but man, these things are amazing. It's a recipe from the Roof restaurant here that's located here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Nice.
Like if anyone has ever been to Salt Lake, they may have heard of the Roof restaurant. They have some of the most amazing meals. Like and I have a whole cookbook that I bought from a bookstore here. It has things like shrimp scampi in it. It has like chocolate mint cake recipe, like all sorts of just amazing things. And if I go through and make all these delicious meals, I'm going to become like over 350 pounds. Because that's just how I am.
It's going to be not Anthony Locke. It's going to be like Anthony Lockdown.
But yeah, so Lito, you inspire me every time when you do a live stream. Like you get so excited on your live streams, and the mere fact that like you know how to just have a fun time, and your wife makes me laugh too, because she always says that bat chica kind of thing, and she has her reindeer antlers that she has that move back and forth. Like you two are like peas in a pod. Like I got to give you a big shout out about that right now, because you two are seriously like two peas in a pod. Like you guys so coincide with each other. Like it's amazing.
Thanks, man. You had a big influence on having Chica, my wife, come more on the channel, right? Because like when I was first starting out and I was doing live streams at home, and you're like, Lito, you should have your wife more on the channel, And I don't know if you touched upon this type of topic, like when you're just starting out, just hit record, just get stuff out, and with every video, you're gonna add more and more elements. You're gonna get a little better. Yeah, and I had that in the back of my mind. We had to have the talk. I'm like, are you okay with being on the channel? Do you want to be part of the channel? Because couples and families have different rules, right? They say like, no, I don't want my children on there, I don't want my wife on there, or the wife will be there but like supporting in the background, she doesn't want to show her face. So everybody's got their own rules. But when you mentioned that, it's like, why don't you have your wife on it more? I'm like, okay. So we had the talk, and she's like, yeah, I'm down. Are you okay? Because a lot of people in Japan, they don't want to show their face because it's their boss at work might see it, and they don't want them to mix work and pleasure or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm cool with it. And yeah, that allowed her to be more on it. And now she's created her own channel, after seeing what I've done. But she's also come up with these caricatures or like characters, like you said. So we have Bat Chica, that came from Johnny Kimchi, just doing these little things. And she never knew what this was. It was hilarious when she does it. her name is Chika, and in Japanese, Shika is deer, and we live near the deer park in Nara, so she's like Chika Shika, and her personality is kind of like a deer. She's always like anxious, like, what's that little thing? What's that thing? It's funny because like we were live streaming in downtown Osaka last night. We passed this restaurant, and there was a huge male deer stag taxidermy, like right outside. Oh my god! And I was just like, oh my god! So like it's almost our like meta game. It's like our sub quest when we go out and we're looking for taxidermy deer now. And I'm just like, Chica, you should have brought your deer ears. And like, yeah, but she just went there and she started putting her fingers up the deer's nose. And it's like what the?
I'm waiting for those photos to be posted on Instagram. Like I'm legitimately like waiting for you to post those photos because she was having like so much fun with that. Because when I sit there and watch, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely Lito's wife. Like she's the great thing about Chica is that she's so easily entertained by things like that. Like she gets so excited. You know, you did a live stream a few weeks ago where she had her little hat with her moving animals on. She's like walking around with her and just pressing the little knobs or whatever that make a move. And I'm just like, she's so easily entertained. Like it just makes me laugh. And I'm sure that, you know, that just makes you laugh. And that's the kind of thing that people love to watch on YouTube. Like they want to be able to relate to that kind of stuff. And you know, I was going to give you a little bit of advice. You know, you do these live streams all the time. Like there's an app that for anyone that's watching, and I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but there's an app called SquareFit. It's on the Apple Store and it's also on Google Play. You can actually take your live streams and shrink them down and make them into YouTube Shorts. So
nice.
I would highly recommend that because like I'm going to be doing that a lot with these weekly creator hangouts, and it'll create more traction for your channel, man. Like I know you're really close to getting that 500 sub count.
Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah.
And I mean, I just barely passed like 109. I just got like 109 subscribers this week, but and I'll get there eventually. You know,
you're 110. I'm looking at your page now. You're 110 right now.
Subscribed. Awesome. Like I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Thank you for whoever subscribed. I appreciate that. But yeah, SquareFit. Go check it out on your phone, and you can. And I'm still learning how to use it, and I'll give you the same advice, Lito, that Nez, who referred me to it, gave me this morning on his live stream. And that was, he just used all osmosis on it. He just had to experiment and really just try to like figure it out, because I tried to find YouTube tutorials on this app, and the only YouTube tutorials about this app I could find were ones about photographs, not really the video side of it. So it's called SquareFit. There's a lot of different apps you can use, but that one I chose to utilize because Nez recommended, and Nez is like completely killing it on the YouTube platform. Like he has almost 17K subscribers on his channel. So yeah.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I just Googled it right now. And the funny thing is I see it. It's like on the Apple App Store, but then on the Google advert page, it has a fitness place called Fit Square. And it's like it's like right in my old neighborhood. I'm like, okay, which one is it? Okay, I'm gonna get fit and repurpose stuff.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch the tiger by the tail.
No, but you know, I just wanted to cut you off, but you said Professor Nez is all about experimenting, and maybe it's not related to that, but you just reminded me. You know, a lot of new content creators, including me, sometimes don't know what their niche is. Or sometimes they don't know what's working yet, right? They're still trying to find success and get traction. And, you know, I'm all about experimenting. I've heard from different channels that help support YouTube's creators, and I'm experimenting, man. Like I kind of know what my channel's about, but like I'm doing music, I'm going out streaming places. I'm going to do cooking as well, you know, and I have done. And you just kind of see what works and doesn't work. You're going to, you know, find things that work and find things that fail. And then you just got to, you know, double down on the things that work. I've seen big YouTubers in Japan. There's a guy called Paulo from Tokyo. He's about 6 million subscribers now. He's been doing YouTube for about 6 years. But the first year was just him finding his way. Like, you know, getting his skills up to par. He did like hotel reviews and then travel reviews and then like this. And then bam, he hit something like top 10 best things to do in Tokyo. And from there, he found success and he just kept with it. And now he's huge, right? He's like a big household name in that space.
Yeah, no. And that's why, like, you know, I was saying on one of the live streams I was a part of that you hosted, your channel is kind of like a vlog channel. You know, it really, in my opinion, like it reminds me of a vlog channel because you don't have any set topic. You're just trying to like let people see, and experience a little bit of Japan. And really, I said it correct that time.
Thank you.
I've butchered it in the past for those watching.
It's all good.
But
It's good to be butchered.
But that's really like what I kind of resemble your channel as, is like a vlog channel, because you want to get people excited to come visit Japan. And those kind of channels, like, I got to be honest with you, like, I mean, I have a vlog video that's going to be coming out later on this summer that I'm going to be doing. Me and some friends, like, I have this glass that's sitting on the side of my house right now that came from like an old factory up in Ogden, Utah. Like, this thing is like bulletproof. And so one of my buddies here in Utah, he was like, hey, do you have any of that glass you're not using? Like, we could totally like shoot it, and you could record it and do some slow-mo videos. So like, I'm gonna be doing a vlog video here soon with it, because he's like,
Nice.
a lot of people like to see the slow-mo video, and it's true. But they also like seeing just vlogs. They like being able to relate to people, and you have that capability. And so, dude, I gotta give you a big shout out for that, because like, when you and I both started, we both kind of slowly started around the same time with YouTube. And we were both just kind of like awkward, like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is kind of weird, like being like having the camera in my face. But we both have kind of gained that camera confidence that we were taught in that Video Ranking Academy. Like, it's not like, dude, like, this is just how I am, like, take it or leave it. So
yeah. No, you make a good point. I think at one point you dubbed my channel like a lifestyle channel, right? So kind of showing your life and what you do. And it's interesting. Yeah, I have a few different elements, right? We have the podcast, kind of like this creator hangout called the Lido Bunch on Sunday nights. And that's my consistent time slot that I like to try to adhere to, with the balance of like, I got to spend time with Chica, like you mentioned earlier. I got work to do. Like, I have an actual like business trip, so I can't do it. And like, why it's so important for me to get that 500 subscriber milestone. I try not to look at the numbers as much as I used to when I first started, right? I was like really obsessed, like 10 times a day. I think like Angie said, 10 times, I got, 2 new subscribers. But the 500 one is really important for me, because I want to get that community tab, which allows me to now give announcements and reach out and do cool things like polls and stuff, and have more engagement and conversation with your community. That's the main point. But like, you mentioned something interesting. You're like, yeah, sometimes on the Lido Bunch, the vlog or the discussion, it may seem like I don't have any topics decided, but actually there's a lot in the background to make it look like it's totally off the cuff. And there's a lot of stuff off the cuff. But you know what? I'm actually I've written down the run of show. So these are a little bit of what do you call it, like tips and tricks in the background. So I do tell my guests, okay, guys, we're going to talk about these 3 topics. I'm going to do the intro. I'll call you on upon this time. Then we're going to talk about topic A, topic B, and topic C, and then there might be a bonus segment. So there is like a structure to it, and there are pre-decided topics. But like I said, when you go live, you don't know where it's going to go, so you got to be flexible to kind of roll with it.
And that's why I said going forward, I'm just gonna this live stream is just gonna be like a chill and chat, because like, I could talk about like affiliate marketing, I could talk about tech, I could talk about all these things, but the conversation can go any different path. And so I think that's the most important part. But really, man, like, I appreciate you so much. You continue to encourage me. You helped me to convince myself not to give up on the YouTube platform. And nice. I'm so glad I didn't, because like, I'm starting to gain that traction that you're starting to gain. Like, we're both starting to gain the traction, and it makes me feel good. But before we head out, I need you to do me a favor.
Sure.
And share your wife's channel, because she's really close to 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
And I also need you to share my mom's channel.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't have your mom's channel on bookmark yet, so just give me 1 second here.
Here, I can find my mom's channel.
Yeah, you do your mom. I do my wife. I sounded bad. It always sounds bad coming out of my mouth without pre-thinking.
No filter, right?
Yeah, that's it. No filter, Lido. And that's the thing. Like the confidence in just being yourself. That's just the way I am. So that's Chica's channel there. Check out Chica. Yeah, and she's a bit more casual about it. She's my support system, right? She's like always got my back, and she's trying to be more involved. And when she has fun, I have fun, so I want to make sure that she's more a part of of the process than a lot of people know. And yeah, and people are starting to see her more. And when she's not on, people ask, so where's Chica? Where's Chica? I'm like, oh, awesome. So
she's kind of taking over your channel a little bit there, Lito.
Sometimes it happens. It happens, Anthony. It's like where the wife starts like surpassing the original creator. There is an actual real example of that in Japan. It's called Mrs. Eats, Mrs. and EATS. So she's blown up. I think she's at almost 500,000 subs right now. They've got a food subscription. They've been doing it for about a year. And the thing is, what you don't know, the husband had been doing YouTube for 3 years with his own cooking channel. And then he produced her channel. And right off the gate, it was super produced, super professional. They do comedy. And she's the face. But now he's crept in the background. And now they're both doing it together. So that's a really interesting success story where the wife overtakes the husband who first started YouTube. So I'm okay with that. I think you should be totally fine. If you find success in a different way than you expect, do not look a gift horse in the mouth.
It all goes back to the whole happy wife, happy life, or happy house, happy spouse, happy house kind of scenario.
That's right. Happy bed, happy. Okay, never mind.
That could have
yeah.
We gotta keep this. We gotta keep this, family oriented.
Yeah,
but with that being said, guys, we hit the 2-hour mark, and I want to say thank you to Lito. I know he has a lot to do on his plate, and so I didn't want to keep him. But thank you, Lito, for coming out. And dude, if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing and hitting that like button because it really helps my algorithm. But then go check out Lito's channel and his wife's channel because they're all about the Japan lifestyle and they have some really fun content. His wife is really starting to get involved in the whole YouTube creation thing, and she's starting to become more confident in herself, which I'm happy for her. And go check out my mom's channel. She's actually going to be having at least maybe 1, maybe 2 videos coming out this week. Plus
awesome.
So, and her channel is all about the gardening niche. And so, yeah, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm set on the goal of getting to the 500 subscribers and then the 1,000 subscribers. And we can all do this together. We all grow together. And with that being said, Lito, do you have any last minute things you want to say to anyone?
Yeah, just thank you all for coming out and hanging out. I think Anthony, it's great that you create this platform, this space for other creators to hang out, because sometimes we're just lost in our own journey and it's very a lonely journey. But I think there is really big value in collaborating and discussing with other creators how their journey is, and we learn off each other. And this is a great safe space for that. Thank you for providing that.
To all those watching either on live or on the replay, my name is Anthony Locke. I am your friendly neighborhood photographer. I just came up with that name a little while ago. So I am your friendly neighborhood photographer. And I always leave with the slogan of my channel and of my business and of my life. And it is, do not live in the past, but instead live for the present and the future. So with that being said, guys, thank you, Lito, and thank you to all my other guests that came on. Nat, we had Bobby, we had Lalo, we had
Colin.
I mean, all these big-time creators who we are all growing, and we're all never going to forget our roots, and we'll always come back together and really just do these fun collabs, these live streams. And we do this creative hangout every week on Sundays. So make sure if you are wanting to come and be a part of it live, that you come check us out. It's going to be every Sunday at 5:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so about close to 9 o'clock a.m. Japan time on Lito's end of the world. But
yeah.
with that being said, Lito, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you so much. You're a good and close friend. I appreciate you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be here.
I'm glad we're such good friends, man.
Awesome. Love you.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you next time.
All right. See you guys. Hey, thanks, John. Have a great day. Great night.
Thanks.
Check you later, man.
John.